In August 2019, Robert De Niro sued his former assistant, Graham Chase Robinson, for binge-watching Friends on the job and stealing millions of frequent flyer miles in what was suspected to be a prelude to a larger, bitter legal battle. A preemptive strike in anticipation of unsavory accusations to come. That came true 2 months later when Robinson filed her own lawsuit. Near the dueling claims, which were largely expected to settle, are now set to go to trial on Monday in New York federal court, with De Niro set to take the stand after opening statements. He will testify against accusations that he oversaw a toxic workplace in which he underpaid Robinson, subjected her to vulgar comments, and assigned her domestic duties like buttoning his shirt and washing his sheets despite her lofty executive title. Robert De Niro is someone who has clung to old mores, stated the complaint, which compares one of Hollywood's most powerful actor-producers to Bill O'Reilly. Filings in the case draw on a trove of texts and internal company emails. Robinson was employed by De Niro and Canal Productions from 2008 to 2019, rising from his executive assistant to director of productions and then vice president of production and finance. Her responsibilities, which kept her on the job around the clock, included running an array of errands for De Niro, his family, and Canal's office. In late 2018, she intended to resign but was convinced to stay. What De Niro exactly said to keep her from leaving is disputed. At her deposition, Robinson claimed that De Niro told her, "If you leave me in the lurch, I'll give you a bad recommendation." The actor denied saying anything of the sort. She soon after asked for a raise to her salary, which at the time was $200,000. She stated, "I have worked for you for 11 years, and I don't begrudge anyone their salary, but I want parity. To give you an example, I make less than your trainer who is at $250,000 base salary and expenses that exceed $70,000 a year." After the discussion, De Niro increased her base compensation to $300,000. Despite her executive title, Robinson claimed she continued to be relegated to domestic tasks, like decorating his new townhouse that he leased. De Niro claims she volunteered. This is when Tiffany Chin, De Niro's girlfriend, became entangled in the legal drama. The two began exchanging texts and emails relating to various aspects of the residence. When she first met Robinson, Chin testified that she thought, here is something wrong with her, very seriously wrong with her. She said that Robinson, who allegedly wouldn't look her in the face, would move furniture and prune their trees without asking permission. It all seemed very jealous and territorial, Chin said at a deposition. Around this time, Chin and De Niro began speculating that Robinson was in love with the actor. In March 2019, Chin demanded he find a replacement because she didn't want Robinson around the house. She texted De Niro, "I'm not going to be happy until you tell me she is looking for her replacement, and if you keep her, you and I will eventually have problems." Another of De Niro's former assistants testified that her employment was terminated in 2003 at the request of his then-wife. Robinson similarly didn't want to be involved in tasks related to the residence either. She testified that my job at productions kind of had been redirected to all of this gender female role where I was handling this housework and vacuuming and doing all of these things. It had nothing to do with VP production of finance. That was incredibly demeaning and frustrating for me to deal with. A month later, Robinson resigned, at which point longtime De Niro attorney Tom Harvey instigated a review of her emails, documents, and computers that led to a formal investigation into the use of Canal funds for personal matters. This included transferring 7 million frequent flyer miles from Canal's account to her own. Robinson responded that De Niro knew and approved the transfer. As their relationship soured, the pair continued to negotiate Robinson signing a release. In exchange for her signature, she proposed nearly 2 years' pay at the salary of $300,000 per year, a meeting with De Niro, a mutual release with an indemnity clause, recommendation letters for 4 business schools, and the retainment of all flyer miles, among other provisions. Legal chaos ensued when De Niro balked at the proposal. He texted Chin, "The balls. The nerve. The chutzpah. The sense of entitlement. How dare her?" In July 2019, Harvey sent Robinson a letter accusing her of breaches of fiduciary duty by charging to Canal a number of personal expenses for things like food, dog sitting, cameras, dry cleaning, and flowers. Robinson, through her lawyers at Sanford Heisler, countered that she had claims against Canal and De Niro for sex discrimination, sexual stereotyping, hostile work environment, and retaliation. Canal fired the first shot,